Just a short update. Found this on the Blaze. Here's a punishment Canadians found guilty of anti-transgender speech could soon face. Really? So, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Little Justin, has announced a bill that would criminalize anti-transgender speech, with violators receiving up to 2 years in prison. Where the hell do we live? What kind of communist state is this? Screw you. The new bill, introduced May 17th on the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. Don't really give a flying crap about that. There's 2 genders, male, female. Deal with it. Aims to amend the Canadian Criminal Code to expand the country's hate speech prohibitions to include any public speech or communication that promotes hatred on the basis of gender identity or gender expression. There's no such thing as... never mind. There's 2 genders, male, female. Deal with it. It would also change the Canadian Human Rights Act to cover transgender people. I thought the Charter of Rights and Freedoms already enveloped everybody. It says for every individual or something like that. Well, I'll look that up. As a society, we have... Actually, you know, I should probably say this like he says it. As a society, we have taken many important steps towards recognizing and protecting the legal rights for the LGBTQ2 community, from enshrining equal rights in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, already exists, dipshit, to the passage of the Civil Marriage Act. Trudeau said in a speech, adding, "There remains much to be done, though. Far too many people still face harassment, discrimination, and violence for being who they are." Trudeau deemed these sorts of actions and sentiments unacceptable. You are not a dictator, Trudeau. You don't get to decide what is unacceptable. To do its part, the Prime Minister continued, the Government of Canada today will introduce legislation that will help ensure transgendered and other gender-diverse people, there's only 2 genders, male, female, can live properly according to their gender identity, free from discrimination and protected from hate propaganda and hate crimes. Propaganda is something the government does, not vice versa. Dipshit. Prime Minister Trudeau, who heads Canada's Liberal Party government, plans to march in the Toronto Gay Pride Parade in July. Okay, fine, his right to do if he wants to do that. But I'm pretty sure he was elected as Prime Minister of all Canadians, not just some Canadians. But yeah, he can do that if he wants. This enactment... Oh, is this him speaking? This enactment amends the Canadian Human Rights Act to add gender identity and gender expression to the list of prohibited grounds of discrimination. A summary of the bill reads... Oh, this isn't him. The enactment also amends the Criminal Code to extend the protection against hate propaganda set out in the Act to any section of the public that is distinguished by gender identity or expression and clearly set out to evidence that offense was motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on an offense. What is an offense? See, free speech should not be related to any offense. If you have, you have the right to be hateful in a free and open society. I'm sorry. Was motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on gender identity or expression constitutes an aggravating circumstance that a court must take into consideration when it imposes a sentence. Whatever happened to the court being blind? The CHRC, Canadian Human Rights Commission, has long advocated for this change. Of course they have. They've been waiting for the progressive to get in charge. A statement on the Canadian Human Rights Commission website reads, transgender and gender diverse individuals across Canada face discrimination, exclusion, and hostility in their daily lives. Really? In Canada? Really? Does that really happen? It's I think it's absolute bullshit. I mean, unless they're, you know, that's, I mean, deal with it, people. It's life. Often impacting their access to everyday services that many Canadians take for granted. Where is that happening? When is that happening? Because that would be illegal. That would be against Canadian law as it exists now. For example, want to see a family physician, travel, or use a public washroom. Wait, what? Public... Take for granted. Are we denying transgendered and gender diverse people from seeing a doctor, travel, or use a public washroom? Where the hell is that happening? What a ridiculous bullshit statement that is. Who are these? These people have power. That's what scares me. This is lunacy. The draft of the new bill is believed to be inspired by an unsuccessful proposed legislation defending defending transgendered rights that was tabled last year by lawmaker Randall Garrison of the New Democratic Party. Canadian law already prohibits anti-gay hate propaganda. Actually, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees the right of everybody in Canada to live the way they wish. In 2013, the Canadian Supreme Court upheld the conviction of a Christian street preacher. Gee, that's a violation of his rights in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I'll bring that up here pretty soon. Who was distributing leaflets denouncing homosexual acts. So, the court held that the man had used vilifying and derogatory representations to create a tone of hatred against gay people. None of this is a crime, the legal examiner reported at the time. The court determined that the pastor's behavior consulted hate propaganda, not something that exists, because the propaganda is something the government does against the people, and that his religious beliefs did not excuse him from violating law. Actually, it actually does, because in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, let's bring that up. Fundamental freedoms. It's number 2. Everyone has the following fundamental freedoms. Freedom of conscience and religion. Freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media of communication, like the internet. Freedom of peaceful assembly and freedom of association. We have those rights. This here is a violation of the Canadian Constitution. And they are our government and our courts are violating the Constitution of Canada. I wish this was a middle finger here, because screw you, Justin Trudeau. Signing off.